Hello there again, and I hope you are well. As you know, my name is Kayla, and I am part of the customer service team within Equus Innovation, and my role is to help you get the most out of your Equus Organizer show management system. This training video module is about how to set up a clinic, training, or seminar event in Equus Organizer with the appropriate classes for people to enter, including the entry fees and any additional mandatory charges that you want to charge for. Once again, to set up the system to take online entries for any event, you need first to create the event framework and the classes that you want people to enter. We suggest that the best way to do this for clinics, training, and seminars is to create multiple templates for each of the likely types of event you intend to run. The basics for creating clinics, training, and seminars is exactly the same as creating any other events. And once again, if you create a template for each of the different types of clinics, training, or seminars that you are going to run, then it makes things a lot easier to duplicate when the events are repeated in the future. Indeed, you can very simply copy each event with all the different classes and change the date to the forthcoming date and time as required. So the first thing to do is to click on the event grid by selecting events from the main menu on the left-hand side. Click on the New Event blue button at the top of the screen and you will see this screen. Enter the name of the event you want to create, in this case, Dressage with Levi Hunt Clinic. Fill in the start and end dates. And leave the affiliated box clear, as it is not an affiliated event. Now select Clinic from the drop-down menu. And you can include any specific descriptions and details on first aid if appropriate, and refund policies that will apply to the clinic right here. Put in the name of the leading official who will be running the event and any sponsors that you may have in these boxes. If you need to limit the total number of entries overall, then you can add the maximum number right here. But remember, it probably is better to add the limits in to the individual classes, as it will be easier to calculate when you are aware of the different class options you intend to provide. Ignore for now the override the default entry duration and the duration of each part of the clinic for now, as this can again be best configured for this type of event in the class configuration, which we will be creating next. Tick Allow online entries and also tick the Members entries only box if you just want to allow members only to enter this specific clinic. Otherwise, leave it blank. Again, ignore these two boxes for now, as it will depend on how you intend to run the clinics, which I will talk about later when we configure the classes. So when you are happy, just click on the Save button to retain the changes that you have made. The new clinic event will appear in the event grid. So, now that the clinic framework has been created, you can again add in any additional associated costs and revenue, if appropriate, that you want to apply to this specific event. This is done exactly the same as before for other events by clicking on the Extras tab in the event configuration, and is shown in detail in the Video Training Module 2, Part 1, entitled Creating an Event. This will then allow you to be able to measure the correct profitability or otherwise of running the clinic through the individual event report that is created within Equus Organizer for every event. There is a later video module on the event reporting provided by Equus, which shows all the details. To create the individual elements of the clinic that you intend to run, you next need to create the classes. There are, in fact, several different ways of running a typical clinic, which are used by different people to meet their individual requirements. The first way is to simply announce to the potential clients that the clinic will be run over a period of time on the day, say from 9 AM until 5 PM, and that each training session will be a specific time in length, usually between 30 and 60 minutes. The clinic organizer usually just requires their clients to identify that they want to book a clinic lesson, session, and then when they have all of the entries booked, the organiser will allocate times using the Equus Organiser Drawn order system, which is explained in detail in a later video module in the series. So in this case, the organiser will just create a class for the clients to enter with no specific times, but with the option for individuals to specify their personal preferences. The second way of doing this is to allocate a specific class for each time slot that will be available through the session or day so that clients can book the individual times that suit them. This method offers more choice to the clients, but makes it more complicated to manage for the organiser if, for example, not all the slots are booked, as there will be wasteful stoppages during the day when the organiser is not doing anything. So choosing the most appropriate way to do this is important and can differ between organisers' requirements. So in this example, I am going to demonstrate how to set up the first method for running a clinic. First, you will need to click on the clinic from the event grid here and then select View Classes, of which there are none at present. Click on the New Class button. You will see a familiar form for the class configuration like this. Key in the class number. And also the class name, in this case, 45-minute dressage training clinic with Levi Hunt. It is good to tell the client here exactly what they are getting for their money. Next, you need to select the arena that the clinic is being run in. Now click on the event type and select Clinic from the drop-down menu. And you can also select if the clinic is to be run as an individual, one-on-one clinic, or as a pair, two together, or as a group session with multiple people, using the drop-down menu under class type. If you want to offer all three options, then the best way to do this is to split the class into 3 sections using the split button function. So in this case, tick the split box and also the drawn order, which will allow you to allocate times after you have all the entries received, and add to the class name the section name, in this case, individual. The class date will automatically be added in by the system, so now you just need to add in the price that will be charged for entry and any membership discounts that will apply. The final element to configure is the class starting time. If this is the first class, or when if not when, the first class will start. And then you need to specify how long the session will last for, in this case 45 minutes. Once again, when you are ready and happy with what you have done, save the configuration and go back to the class grid, which will now show the class you have just created. So now you have created the first part of the first class, you need to add in the split element, and to do this, just click on the Options button on the extreme right-hand side of Class 1 here, and select the split option. In the pop-up form, change the class number by adding in a letter A suffix to Class 1 to show as Class 1A, and then change the class name by replacing individual section with pairs section. Press the split key and the system will create the second section for you and ask you to confirm and save if it is correct. Before saving it, change the cost of the session from the individual rate to the pair rate so that the correct amount is charged, and also change the class type from individual to pair. This creates a second section for the class for pairs. And finally, repeat the same process to create the group session as well, changing the charge for the event accordingly to the group cost. It is good to show in the group session title how many people can be accommodated as a maximum in each group to best set people's expectations. Now this is completed, you need to go back to the parent, that is Class 1 configuration, and add in the total number of entries you can manage in the day or overall session to ensure you don't get too many entries than you have time slots. And then when you are ready, save everything. And so, to wrap up this video module for creating a clinic training session or seminar, you will have seen that there are 3 individual steps to setting the system up to work the way you want it to. Step 1. Create the overall clinic framework. Step 2. Create and format the individual classes, depending on how you want the clinic to run and whether you want to allow clients to pick their preferred times and configure them for entry fees, duration, and types. That is, individual pair or group sessions. Step 3. Publish the finished event onto your website and open the event and classes to begin taking entries. Thank you once again for your time, take care, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon.